Start by rolling out a sheet of clay to about a 1/4 inch thickness and using a round cookie cutter or anything round that you want to cut it out with. We're going to cut it out and cut it in half. So you could actually make 2 cats with one round cutout. So you can use the needle tool or the X-Acto knife. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just rolling a rope to get ready to make the candy cane tail. This way I don't have to do it later after I've had red on my hands. Always try to think ahead, do I have to wash my hands after this color or that color? So try to prepare your whites ahead of time if possible. And if you have very small children, you might want to help them with the cutting. Now we're going to take 2 small round pieces of clay and we're just going to press them onto the bottom for the paws. This is very simple, very easy. Make sure you press everything on very well. You don't want it falling apart. And please make sure that all your clay is very well conditioned. If you don't condition your clay, your piece will not hold up. Now these are the paws that the kitty's going to be resting its head on. As you can see, I've made a larger ball of white clay, and that will be the kitty's head. I'm pressing the toes into the paws with a needle tool. And we're just going to make simple little ears. Just kind of, excuse me, just kind of pinch the clay to make the ears and flatten the head a little bit. And when you put the head on the paws, put it at an angle because this little kitty's sleeping. Just put it at an angle. She's resting her head on her paws, sleeping. And I'm using a knitting needle to open up the ears. I know I've said it before, but a knitting needle is a great tool for polymer clay. And you can get them in all sizes. Going to make our candy cane. I'm going to make a candy cane rope to begin with. I actually have sold many of these at the craft shows. I always have a basket of dog bones and a basket of the Christmas cat. And people love to buy ornaments for their animals. Because, pets are members of the family. I have many myself. There we are. And this is very easy for the kids. Actually, the size of the rope that I've made there is enough for 2 ornaments. And there we go. And make sure you press it on, like I always say. You don't want it falling off. Press it on really well. The clay has to bond when it's baking. If it doesn't bond, it'll just fall apart. And you have to press it together to get it to bond well during the baking process. And I always like my little holly leaves and the holly berry. I always like to put those on my ornaments. You can make this with a black cat, any color cat you want. Just make sure your little tail is a candy cane tail. Now, this is going to be a very simple face. We're just going to cut out the mouth and the eyes with the needle tool. Later on in our lessons, we'll do a much more complicated cat. Oops, I made the nose too big. You can also make that nose pink if you want to. I'm cutting out the eyes, and he's sleeping, so his eyes are closed. And we're going to blush his cheeks. You know what I always say, blush before you bake. And there he is. Very easy, very quick, very simple. I used to sell these at craft shows for $5 because it was quick and easy to make. So there he is. Now be sure you put him in the oven and bake him according to the instructions. There you go.